What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dillian, the body snatcher Whyte, Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, and Lennox Lewis. Big up England, big up. Dillian Whyte to Tyson Fury. He says, you haven't even achieved half of what Lennox Lewis has achieved. And this is what he goes on to say. He says, who has he fought? Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko? He can't call himself the greatest. Whyte said when speaking with CNN, he says, okay, you might be the best heavyweight around your era now because you haven't lost. Then you beat everyone put in front of you, but you're not the greatest. You haven't even achieved half of what Lennox Lewis has achieved, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, or none of these guys. Those are the words of Dillian, the body snatcher Whyte. And to counterpunch Dillian Whyte, he's absolutely right. I've been preaching that for the longest. Eddie Hearn tapped on that, but Eddie Hearn's not a good enough credible guy at this point since his fighter has just been defeated. So here you go. You got Dillian Whyte really just breaking everything down. You don't become the greatest just by beating a guy that's limited 3 times or twice. Okay? And beating a guy 39 years of age in 2015. Okay? So that doesn't make you the greatest because, of course, he took 3 years off. 3 years out of the gym doing God knows what. And that was the time where he could have been stamping his legacy down. But instead, he was going through it. He was going through problems, trials, tribulations. I get it. But then you're just getting back in the saddle with a couple tune-ups. Then you fight Wilder for a draw. Then a couple more tune-ups. Then you beat Deontay Wilder. Then you fight Deontay Wilder again. That does not make you the greatest. Okay? You have to beat all these guys that are heavyweights right now. Okay, the Joe Joyces. You won't fight Joseph Parker, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. You have a lot of fighters a lot of fights that could be made right now. And I feel that Tyson Fury just saying, hey, it was only 3 guys. It wasn't 3 guys. And if that's the case, you're half there. He's only half if he believes that the 3 best guys were himself, Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua. You've only fought 1 guy. Beating that 1 guy twice does not make you better than everyone else, especially the other guy that you didn't beat. So you have not only you haven't fought Anthony Joshua, you haven't fought the dude that beat Anthony Joshua. You didn't even beat the other guy that beat Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. There was no Joe Joyce. Okay? There was no Dillian Whyte, the guy that's making this claim. There was none of these fights. We've heard a handful of sparring wars and rumors. That's all we've heard between Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury. Now, don't even go about talking about Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis fought everyone there. Okay? He defended that sucker. He didn't do it once in a lifetime. You just did 2 weeks ago. That was the first time ever in history that Tyson Fury defended the title. So this was the first time he actually ever proved he was a legitimate champion. So I get what Dillian Whyte's saying. And for him to say I'm better than Ali, I think it's all cap. I think it's 100% cap. But then again, I do believe Tyson Fury thinks that in some weird type of way. I'm better than all those guys based on what? You beat Wilder with one hand? A one-handed ex-champion. And who did he fight? Oh, nobody. An old guy named Ortiz. Does that make you who you supposed to be? It doesn't add up. When Tyson Fury beats Dillian Whyte, beats Anthony Joshua, right? Beats Alexander Usyk, beats Andy Ruiz, beats Joe Joyce. When he beats these guys and proves, I've beat everyone that's supposed to have been somebody in the heavyweight division. He can call himself the greatest of this era. But just because you haven't been, I don't even agree with Dillian Whyte, because just because you haven't been beat doesn't mean that you are the greatest. You just haven't fought everybody. Now, a lot of people might say, oh man, you hate. No, I'm not hating at all. I'm just telling you what's true. And what's true is Tyson Fury has fought one guy 3 fucking years. 18. Didn't even fight him in 19. So 18, 20, 21. So in the span of 4 years, you fought one guy now you claim to be great. A guy that you call a one-trick pony. A guy that you said didn't have a resume and hasn't fought anyone. That same guy. But see, at some point, Tyson Fury started to cut off the negative vibes and the negative comments because he knew as soon as I beat this guy, I have to pump him up because I have to make him second because I haven't fought anyone else. Make sense? So that's when he's the hardest puncher in heavyweight history. You know, he knows what to say and what to do. And that's what happened. So as soon as he gave people the perception of Deontay Wilder being the toughest or the most dangerous, you know, or the second best, most importantly, and then he beats him, that gives you that perception that, hey, he is the best, but he's not. Because, I mean, it's not that deep. I mean, you just haven't fought the other guys in the division. That's what makes you, or makes your argument stronger that you are the greatest. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dillian Whyte's comments towards Tyson Fury. Is Tyson Fury equivalent to Lennox Lewis? I'll make a poll. You guys tell me what you think. Please subscribe. And you've been Counterpunched. Peace.